NCRP Productions presents Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands, Episode 47. Hi, and welcome back to Unhallowed Metropolis, Secrets in the Sands. This is Barry, your Game Master, and we are going to go around the room, meet everyone, and get started.
Hey everybody, it's Pedro. I'm playing Dr. Desmond Wright, the medical doctor.
Hi, it's Sequoia, and I'm running Frankie the Undertaker.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty. I'm running Ray Callahan, our pugilist.
Hello, I'm Michael. I might be playing Dr. Everett Wolfe, the Alchemist. Maybe a throat, maybe something else. Maybe I'm just entombed in sand. We'll find out.
Hi, this is Matt. I'm playing Dr. Ayden Samir Carter, chosen by the gods.
Oh, and doctor.
I did say doctor.
Oh, you did say doctor? Perfect. I missed that part. I want to make sure you have your title.
Yep.
Hi, this is Jill, and I'm playing Raya, the Mourner.
So, last time, we had been doing the ritual that Ayden had set out to fix, you're not getting to see the air quotes, but they're there, fix Dr. Wolfe. And when I say fix, this means allow him to continue to be a throat, where most people would think fixing would maybe be removing that. That's not what anyone was going for. You were taken out into the sands, you were set up, the ritual was begun. You're about 50 minutes away from where the camp was set. The ritual got interrupted by movement under Dr. Wolfe, which sunk him into the ground and brought animates up. Animates continued to come forth. There was an attempt to continue the ritual as best you could, the animates stopping that. Dr. Wolfe, at the end of it, had been seeing visions he has had throughout our time here with the group in Secrets in the Sands. And he felt like he was seeing those visions come to fruition in this event, in the thing that you guys were doing here. So at the end, when the animates started to overflow and get to the point where it was going to be dangerous to stay, Marud grabbed Ayden, who was injured from his hand, having cut it a number of times for the ritual, and was starting to feel woozy. Marud tried to get Dr. Wolfe, bring him with him. Dr. Wolfe beat him back and allowed himself to sink back into the sand as the animates continued to billow forth from this space.
One final thing. Raya did try to get Wolfe, and there was that desperate moment of like, please, I don't want to lose anyone else. And it was an interesting, weird absolution of her guilt in that moment. But, well, we'll see what she feels about that. It's still.
Also, I'd like to say in my defense, I didn't know they wanted me to remove the throat nest, because that's a totally different ritual.
Different spell there.
So, the group, minus, of course, Dr. Wolfe, ran back to the camp. As they got back to the camp, the remaining group at the camp was curious as to what happened. There was some discussion and explanation of what happened, but there was a lot of time spent fixing and bringing Ayden back up to snuff. It was still in the night, and everyone now is kind of waiting for Dr. Wolfe to come back. That was kind of where it was left. Raya had kept first watch. When she went in to get Ray and get him set to come out for the second and final watch of the night, there were noises outside. In most cases, the group didn't hear. Well, the group who was up is Raya and Ray. The two of you did not hear anything. But the three of the four Bedouins, Zasser still being damaged, three of the four Bedouins had woken up. Bess and Ra and Abrax both were up and looking around. The camels were making noise, a little bit of moaning. After that moaning, Ray, you and Raya both hear, along with the awake Bedouins, you hear some noise on the wind. A second noise on the wind sounds like talking, and the Bedouins all said at different times, Wash Washa Zagarit, which you guys do already know is a fearful curse that they have, a voice on the wind. So we will pick up there.
Wake up everyone, right? You don't.
Yes.
Alright! Come on, everyone up!
What is happening now? I need my sleep.
We got animates on the move, possibly coming here.
Could you hold them off for a little bit? Let me sleep 5 more minutes, Ray.
No, you need to get up.
Grab
we
him
might
by
need
his
to
arm
move.
and start pulling him out of his bed.
Oh, guess not. Okay, my boy.
So for we'll just kind of go around the room. Dr. Wright, will you go ahead and give me a vitality roll?
Barry, I'm gonna go stand outside while everyone's
Step
getting
out
ready.
and look which way. Scanning where?
The way that we came from, the way that the animals were that we last saw.
Gotcha. All right. So staring up towards the mountains, which are actually a small hillside, which is way off that direction.
Yes.
Well, unless anybody okays me to use one in the middle, that's gonna be a 9.
A 9. All right.
Go ahead, use one in the middle.
Yeah. I got the okay. Matt is my possible savior, or dammer if I get double 1. Oh, I almost did. No, but that's a little bit... No, it's actually the same. It's still 9.
So, with a 9, for the actions through today, until you do sleep, which could happen today at some point, you are going to be -1 on all actions. Frankie, same situation. Go ahead and give me a vitality roll.
I got a 14 on my roll.
Mm-hmm.
And Frankie's jumping up with his axe.
Yep, Frankie is up and fine. Frankie has done things like this before. You also have a little more youthfulness than Dr. Wright. Ray, you are already up. What's the hand for?
Oh.
30 years.
Yeah! I'm a spry dude, is what I'm
you
saying.
are. You definitely
Right,
are.
old.
Just because I'm not a thrope.
So, Ayden, go ahead.
Not
and give
yet,
me...
anyways.
I got 17.
So with a 17, Ayden, you actually feel fairly well rested. You must have hit that REM sleep, but you are doing just fine.
Man, even with the blood loss, he's doing good.
Right. And that might have been it. That may have allowed you to just kind of sink into it. The hand is, as you're getting up and you're chesting the hand is still tender, but you have cut that hand so many times in that area that a lot of that area is already deadened to nerves. A lot of it's already scar tissue on the hand.
That sounds like a plus for me. I mean,
All right. So as you guys are waking up, and Billings and Mei Ling will wake up sleepily, both trying to get ready. Marud is up about the same speed as any of the rest of you that are coming from sleep, so probably Frankie and Marud are up about the same time. Cal takes a little bit longer to come up, but Cal is up, and they, along with Mei Ling and Billings, are going to ask, what are we doing to... I'm going to say Ray because Raya's not in there. Ray appears to have been up and has his weapon with him, so everybody's starting to ask you, Ray, what are we doing?
We got the Washa Washa Zagarit going through the wind. We need to be up just in case they head this direction.
And saying that, you'll hear Zosser speaking. Now, Ray and Ayden, of course, you can hear what he's saying, but he's going to say, what? What? The moan is back? And Abrax will say to him, stay, rest, my friend. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, I'll head out to Raya.
So we've got Frankie out. All 3 Bedouins go out, and as soon as they step out, each draws some type of a weapon.
I'll go out too. I'm gonna try and stick where I can see Frankie, and I'd rather not just be in this tent.
Okay. For the ones that are going out, where are you going? Raya is at the other end of the tent, standing, looking in the direction that the group came back from.
I'm gonna try to ask the Bedouins where it's coming from.
Tell me what you're doing.
I'm gonna say, oh boy, animate, move, and then I'll kind of gesture like this.
And you say
like
animate or
this.
Shadem?
Shadem.
Shadem move.
Yeah, this is my list.
Okay.
I'm just saying it in the English.
Perfect.
words.
Perfect.
And I'll point like over there, like this, animate move, like this.
So Abrax is going to look at the other 2. Bess and Ra will look at Raya and then ask Raya in Egyptian, where are they coming from? Ray, you will hear that.
Is there even a way to tell? This is part
It's
where...
on the wind.
Okay.
No. But Raya definitely seems to be focused in one direction.
So I'm gonna reach down to the ground and I'm gonna grab a bit of sand and kind of toss it in the air.
Okay, and you know which direction the wind is blowing.
I
So you're going to point from the direction the wind is starting?
Yeah, wherever it's
Okay.
coming from.
Very good. And they'll start moving, and though he hasn't said anything to you, Abrax will look at you and point in this direction, and you'll notice quickly that that's the direction Raya is looking.
Okay, yeah, I'll go. I mean, probably from the pitcher's mound to the hitter spot. That distance of space.
So
I
stepping,
don't know why I picked
so I get what you're saying, though. You're stepping away from the tent.
I'm gonna go out into the sand that distance, which
Gotcha.
is an amount.
So Bess and Ra will both come up with you. Fairly quickly, Marud is standing at your side, and so is Cal.
Okay.
For the rest of you, Ayden, do you leave the tent?
Yep.
Okay. Do you go... there are effectively 2 standing groups. Now, Ayden, you're going to realize this. Nobody's reacting to it. The camels are still restless. Every so often, there's that bleeding, honking kind of bleating, I want to be clear, honking type of sound coming from them.
So I'm going to go... You said there were stones near the camp, so I'm going to go hop onto one of those.
There
like
should
obelisk.
not be stones near the camp.
I thought there were like some obelisks.
Like walls.
Right, all right. So, but you guys set up at the very edge. So yes,
Right.
not obelisks. They would be walls. And again, remember, they're not huge walls. If it's 3 foot high, that's a huge wall.
Okay, well, so yeah, I'm just going to climb up on top of there.
And,
I'm going to start chanting.
okay.
Oh God, what is he doing now?
What do you think you're chanting? What is he? I'm not asking you to do it here at the table, but what do you? Wait a minute, I've changed my mind. Do it here at the table. No. Tell me what is in your mind as you are chanting.
I am like calling on the spirits of the land to make it so the undead don't come here.
And you're calling on them in the traditional Egyptian.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me an intelligence roll. Intellect roll, excuse me.
Barry, while he's doing that, I go out. So I grab my valise, my gun, and when I go out of the tent, I grab one of the lanterns. I'm gonna put the valise right on the inner flap of the exit to the tent, and I'm basically just standing in front of the tent door or flap door or whatever,
right?
With lantern in hand and gun out. Just if anything comes at me,
gotcha.
That's what I'm looking
so
for.
you are effectively facing completely away from where everyone else is. Just to let you know.
Oh, I'll face where the group is. I don't know where they are.
Are you then going to go around the tent where they are? So they're all at the back of the tent.
If I can't see Frankie, I'm going to go to where I can see Frankie.
Very good. You can see Frankie if you stand in the group roughly where Raya is, or you can go farther up and stand with... Okay.
I'll
so
stand
back
near
with
Raya.
Roughly the group that Raya is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not near Raya,
16.
but like close to Raya. But
so with the 16... The same feeling that you normally get when you are doing these chants and these prayers, you are getting that feeling.
Okay.
Again, for you, you believe, therefore things that happen fit the pattern.
Right.
You've never had a completely insane thing like, Bolt from the Blue, a burning bush start.
Right.
But you have successfully had things happen that make you believe that the chanting works.
Of
So
course,
you
I
continue
mean,
with that.
magic's far more subtle than,
Sure.
throwing fireballs and lightning and stuff.
So you are ignoring the camels.
Yes.
Very good. Not
So
a
is
problem.
there ahead of us? There's basically a big sand dune.
Oh, it's not a sand dune. It's sand.
Okay.
Ahead of you guys, you probably can see, oh boy, at least 30 minutes worth of walk in a line. However,
It's all on an incline.
it's extremely cold. It's slight incline, extremely cold, and you do get a slight pelting of sand as it blows. This is not the same pelting that you guys get during the day, however. So is everybody dressed for night? Or did everybody just throw things on and head out? Anybody not dressed for night?
how long would it have taken to throw that on?
2 or 3 minutes, probably.
I probably had whatever my sleeping garment's on.
I will, because I don't want to be cold.
Yeah.
So then I'll take my time to do that.
Is anybody not dressed for night? So Ayden is not. Well, he's dressed for night, but inside a building. All right. So Ayden, I am going to have you give me a vitality roll.
Okay.
You're just still standing over there on the wall.
Right. And his chant and wail go up and down. You've seen him do this before.
Yes, it's as weird every time.
Well, but it's kind of your choice to think about it. There have been things that have happened that are, I'm going to use the words explainable, but they are unexplainable in that something that he wants to have happen happens. I don't even want to say the words often, but things happen when he does this, and they do seem to support his belief in these prayers. And he has explained to you over and over again that magic doesn't work in grand ways, it works in minor ways. If you ask the gods for something, there is a chance, if they are listening, that they'll give it to you. Pretty much paraphrased well?
Yes.
Okay. So again, I would have a hard time with you just completely completely writing it off, because Ray's not, something we've said over and over at the table, Ray's not stupid. So Ray has seen unexplainable things to Ray. You can think it's silly, but again, you've seen things happen where you can't explain it. And he's been doing that. So taking the time to notice that, Ray, because it's another component of what you've done here for him in the sand, you're hearing the camels making that kind of noises. We're not happy. We're getting grumbly.
Right. Bess is one of the Bedouins that's not injured.
Correct.
Bess, can you go try and calm down the camels? I don't want them alerting the animates to us.
Yes, of course. The Shadem don't normally come to them. He just says that matter-of-factly. That's something you already know.
Thanks.
So Bess will leave you. He says something to Ra. Ra will look at the group that's standing at Frankie's level and then say something to Abrax, and then the two of them will go over with the camels. And you guys will hear the camels every so often make a louder noise. If any of you look back, Bess and Ra are putting them into a position where they're either hobbling them, which doesn't mean chopping off their legs, it means they're not going to set them so they don't run, or they're setting them to a point where they're not facing it.
Yeah, I'll take care of the camels, Ray.
So 10 minutes passed, and all of you, even in your night clothing, are feeling that chill. What did you get for a roll?
16.
So 16. So whatever it is that you're doing with your prayers seems to be keeping you at least unaware of the cold that's there. But for the rest of you guys, it is getting cold.
Yeah.
And you're also feeling, as his voice goes up and down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have all of you do this for me. Not Ray.
Okay.
Just because you've been around it so much. But for the other three of you, go ahead and give me a wit roll.
Oh my god, why do I crit on this one? I got two 10s.
Perfect.
20.
20.
Which equates to what, 25?
14.
All right. So all three of you will notice that there is, to his chant, there is absolutely, I don't know if it's going to be a melody, but there's absolutely a rhythm to it.
Okay.
As the rhythm rises and falls and moves around, you are starting to be very confident the wind is following that. Not perfectly, but as he starts to bring up his ululations, the wind will pick up. As he recesses from it, they will go down.
I'm kind of imagining it like the call to prayer type of thing.
I could see that. So,
A few minutes in, I would turn back to Raya and I would say, "You saw them?"
I haven't seen them, but that's the direction that we last saw Shadem in.
Frankie, you're going to see this. Raya won't, because she's talking to you. Billings comes out. Billings is well wrapped for night. He just comes walking out to where Raya is.
He looks shifty.
Not at all. He looks like he's just walking out of the tent.
Does he look like he's whispering something low under his voice? Like he's casting a spell?
No,
Possibly
he does not.
Is he holding some kind of amulet that we didn't know he had?
What color are his eyes?
Yeah.
You can't tell in this night.
So there may or may not be animates coming towards us.
There may or may not be.
We got up in the middle of the night for a maybe? And
Marud turns to you and says, "I see nothing out there."
Well, if Marud says there's nothing out there, that's good enough for me. I'm going inside. Good night.
We'll just double watch till morning. I'll stay out with Raya.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
So Abrax will not leave you. As other people start talking, Marud says, "If anything happens, you will wake me immediately."
Of course, Marud.
And he talks to Cal low for a few moments, and they walk back in. They walk past Billings. They will quietly, so not even Raya will hear it. They'll say something to him, and he kind of bobs his head up, nods it a couple times, and they go in. Are you doing any change in what you're doing?
I'm going to... I figure after about 10 or 15 minutes, I'll probably stop, and I'm going to sit out there with them.
Very good.
So whatever direction we were facing, I'll go to the opposite so we're covered on both sides.
Very
Thank
good.
you.
So, for those who are back in the tent, Ray, I'm sorry I missed you. What are you doing?
I thought I was taking over watch, so I kind of assumed that Ryan...
You did think you were.
Oh,
So-
whatever. Whoever
I'm
else.
staying out there.
All right. So there's the three of you. Now, Raya, you have not slept at all so far. No, I meant as far as the watch group. You have not slept at all. Frankie and Ray have slept a little bit.
Do you have this?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. So
I'll go
Raya
into
goes
the tent.
So outside, facing different directions, are Ray, Frankie, and Ayden. Ayden, you're sitting. The other two of you, are you sitting, standing?
Pacing.
Pacing. That's exactly what I would have thought. For the group inside, fairly soon after you, maybe within the next 3 to 6 minutes, you're going to see first Bess and then Ra come in. And for those of you outside, especially Ray, who was well aware of it, the camels seem to have quieted down. Everybody inside there for about 10 minutes. There is nothing going on. By the way, Dr. Wright, I assume, brought back in the lamp, which means there is no light out. No light. Not that it's not, there's no light at all. There's no light out there with you. There is a small bit from the moon that's out. There is a tiny bit of light from that. Okay?
Yeah, I feel like neither Ray or I are concerned about the darkness.
Slowly, people inside start to go to sleep. Will any of the inside people not try and keep themselves up?
No, I'll go to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
All right. So we pass about an hour. Ray, go ahead and give me, because Frankie is facing the opposite way, go ahead and give me a wits perception roll.
While I'm sitting out there, I'm whispering, like, to the ground type of thing. Like, I've dug a little hole and I'm whispering to it.
And you're whispering what? The chant still?
No, I'm whispering for Dr. Wolfe to return. Like, I'm like, kind of say it here where we are, you know.
Very good.
This feels like it's worth it.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is an important one.
You should spend a chip.
That's significantly better. That's a 17.
17. All right. And then Ray and Frankie, would you be endeavoring to listen to what Ayden is saying? It's quiet. You would have to focus on it.
Not at all.
I would be focused on it just because there's nothing else to really focus on.
And that's exactly right. Okay. So that time passes, and with your perception roll, you think you see movement ahead, a single figure. Do you say anything the second you see it, or do you wait so that you're certain that it's not just darkness moving? And that's not supposed to be ominous darkness, just darkness.
Feels very ominous. I'm very afraid.
It's that darkest just before dawn, maybe.
We just hear the...
Right.
Why do I hear boss music?
I love bosses. So I stand there for a moment. I just kind of stare, and I see just a shape moving above, basically the hill far away.
And you do believe that it is coming your way. You are fairly sure, if you wait for a little bit, you are fairly sure it is a single something moving this way. Now, at distance, not certain what you would see, but you would confidently believe that it is shambling.
You know, I could take it by myself. I don't need to ask Frankie.
It is quite a ways away.
You know what? It's fine.
You just let it get
so
close.
Is Ayden close to it though?
Well, no, Ayden
Ayden's
could
off
be
to the-
facing it, but right now he's talking to the ground.
I'm sure it's fine.
All right.
I'll keep. So I'm staring right at it at this
Gotcha.
point.
All right. So it comes closer. Yes, Frank.
Isn't there a better one out here with us too? Where's he at?
Abrax?
Yeah.
Abrax never left.
Where'd he go?
He's right there.
With me?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
Do you just realize that he's there?
Oh God, Abrax!
Where'd you come from?
He just melted into the sand. They're able to do that. That's...
I think of it more of like how serene Frankie's mind is. Like it's just
Every time I turn around, he surprises me again.
it's just the lapping of the. What's
It
that
feels like the
river
first time.
in the Thames. It's just that. It's just sludge lapping.
Well, more importantly for you, he stands stone silent. That's a hell of a thing. Maroon's the other person you've seen do this.
No, Frankie, I mean, if he's on the hunt, he can be quiet, but if he's pretty bored. He's probably like humming hymns and stuff.
Okay. So, more time passes, Ray, and you are certain that it is a single figure. Beyond that, you don't know what. It is definitely Shambling would be a word because that's what you were looking for. It is not picking up speed. It is not slowing down. And sitting here watching it, you are getting colder. Probably the wind.
Or is it?
Frankie, I'm gonna go deal with a shambler. Be right back.
What?
Alright. What do? You just heard him say that. And Ayden, do you stop from your chance to the ground?
Yes, I'll stop and look to see who he's going.
So you also see something coming down because it is clear now, Frankie.
If I walk around the tent, can I see it?
Wait, no, you're not. Are you literally on the other side of the tent? I
Yeah.
thought you were in the same place turned around.
No, I went to the other side of the
Okay,
tent.
so you gave a little holler out. Yeah, if you come around the tent, and if you get up, then Abrax will also get up and walk with you.
I'll just gesture to him to stay on this side.
He nods once and continues standing and looking.
Yeah, and if I go looking, it's just one shambling
Yep,
animate.
there's one shambling animate as far as you can tell. It's still a distance out. At this speed, Frankie's guess, another 25 to 30 minutes before it gets here.
Yeah, it's fine. Ray can take that.
Okay?
So
Unless it is unconscionably short, in which case it might be. Alright. Ayden.
So I'm going to walk up to Roy.
Well, so you're
Who's
sitting,
Roy?
Ray.
Ray.
you're sitting right next to Ray speaking to the
Okay.
ground.
All right, well, I'm going
Right
to stand up,
Uh-huh.
look at the shambler, put an arm on Ray, and say, I will deal with this. And I'm going to start walking out towards him.
Ray.
yeah, sure you will. I'm gonna continue walking with him.
Alright, so the two of you, now, do we have the silly walk a little faster thing?
No, I'm
Alright,
just-
good.
I would win.
So the two of you are
Confident
walking. Alright.
We've done that before. I will.
All right. So I'm going to assume for now that Frankie is going to hold back in position but still watch you guys. So as you guys start getting closer, that distance closes. 15 minutes out, it is mostly closed the distance, and you guys think it's Wolfe.
I told you he was gonna come back as an undead.
He is standing. He's walking. He has the little bits that are left of the... We've been laughing calling them mummification rags.
The
but
wraps.
He has the
wrapping.
little wraps. He has some going off him. And his head is down, and he is kind of walking. It's still dark, so you don't see depth of features, but you would be shocked if you're not right that it's not Wolfe.
So,
And they're getting close, Frankie, to where...
What did you guys
where the,
do to him? Bury him in
Shambler
the sand?
is.
I'm gonna say, stop, Wolf.
And so they're a distance, so I can't hear what they're saying.
No. I'm assuming you would have waited at the camp. To see
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the
I'm
people
just watching.
So they stop. The other person is moving. Again, for you, you won't know that it's Wolfe. So you say, stop, Wolfe. Dr. Wolfe, you are walking down a long tunnel. You feel like you have been walking down this tunnel forever. You do see, not light, you do see a lighter gray ahead of you. When a voice breaks through it, everything shatters, and you are standing in the desert. You are very cold, extremely cold. It's having its effect on you. And there's Ayden.
Did you just kill him and get it over with?
There's a shock moment. It's like that goes like actual intake of breath. How does my breath sound actually when I breathe?
There's going to be a rasp to it, but more like you've been coughing or screaming.
Right, but not like the lungs have been filled with the liquid that I've been dealing with for a while.
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Animates cough?
I'm gonna walk.
Never once.
I'm gonna walk up to him and kind of take off like a shawl, just put it around him, and say, "I am glad you have returned, my friend."
So as you get closer to him, he looked bad before. He looks terrible now. Besides the dirt and the sand that is pouring out of the cuts across his head, the sliced in his face, the sand has been building up and then dripping out as it gets too big to sit in the pile there. When you put it around him, you happen to touch his skin at one point, and it is freezing cold. It is as cold as the dead, but you can see he's not dead.
Let's get you to the fire.
I don't think we have a fire.
And
but-
Frankie, you're watching this, so you're not hearing it. You have a pretty good idea what's going on at this point. So what are you guys doing?
Taking him back to camp.
Okay. Ray, doing anything weird? You seem to be uncomfortable with him, so I'm asking.
Wait a minute. What did you... Isn't he supposed to be dead? He succeeded at what he was attempting.
I don't know. I feel like there was still something else. There was, before you talked to me, I was walking somewhere. There was a distance. Like I have to keep going. And Wolfe, for whatever reason, despite the fact that it's not in that trance anymore, it's like, there's something ahead. I don't understand, but it's important. There's something ahead. I have to keep going.
Well, technically the camp's ahead, so...
The camp is ahead.
Lead the way.
So as you guys walk, about 15 minutes distance again, you come back, you see Frankie there, you see Abrax there. No, you don't see Abrax there. Abrax the other side. You see Frankie there waiting. As you get up to Frankie, what is Frankie doing?
I want to reach out and see if he has a pulse.
So you can just stick your hand out and touch his neck. Okay. Yeah, it's very, very light. He is freezing cold to your touch.
Once I ascertain that he does have a pulse, I'll drop my hand back, and then I'm gonna, I don't know, go get the doctor, I guess.
All right.
And go in the tent and wake you up again.
All right, so you're coming in. Are you guys stopping, or are you going into the tent?
Must you continue further?
I don't know.
Perhaps we shall wait till the sun rises and the new day begins.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I just need to close my eyes for a moment. Maybe I'll know then.
Okay.
You know, I'll go into the tent for the moment.
All right, so you're continuing walking.
Yeah.
So Frankie, you get Dr. Wright up, who is now very tired. He's been woken up twice, and you barely even got to sleep at this point.
So I'll get up and say, what is happening, Frankie? More animates now.
I'm gonna pull you out of the tent.
And,
Well, you don't have to pull him out of the tent. You have to get him up.
I'll pull him out of the tent.
Right. Well, they're coming in.
I'm gonna stop them from coming in. Like, I'll push you back out.
hand just comes out of the tent.
Frankie, you can put me down now. I'm up.
Dr. Wolfe, there is a light at the end of your tunnel. I mean, it's right there. It's the
tent.
tent.
In the tent?
Yep.
This is it. This is where I need to be. Frankie, please, I know this is where I have to be. I have to be here.
I'm gonna push him back. I don't want him in the tent until.
Raya, give me a wits perception roll.
Is that Wolfe, Frankie?
Shh. Is he safe?
What do you
Of
mean?
course he's safe.
Frankie, I'm please lifted off the ground. Could you put me down, please?
He has been reborn.
Let me,
21.
Frankie,
You wake
let me go. He's talking. Animates don't talk. And then I'll stop and say, well, except for that zombie lord. But if he's a zombie lord, that could be good for us. And I'll turn around and go and I'll grab a.
You'll step out the tent.
Yeah, I'll grab a lantern and step out the tent.
I'll go step out of the
Well,
tent.
so you're going to get up when you're hearing this. So we're staying outside the tent. We have the light outside.
for the moment.
So the light has moved closer to you.
Yeah.
And go ahead and give me a willpower roll. The light has moved past you.
Uh-oh. The light has moved past me.
Right.
Wait.
Because he just stepped out of the tent with the lantern.
Oh.
But you are so tunnel visioned right now.
Okay, let me... Oh, sorry. I only need 2 dice for this. I'm thinking of a different system. Give me a sec. Do I have
It's
any...
White Wolf, 11 T10s.
Any penalties to this willpower?
No.
Okay.
No, the only one who has minuses that I know of is Dr. Wright, unless people still have wound damages.
And speaking of which, do I still have wound damages right now?
I do not believe anything cleaned, so if you do still have them, I think you moved down 1 level was what happened. Did you?
I don't know,
All
because
right,
we
then
didn't...
you still have your full wounds dealt with dealing with this.
Okay, because we never discussed whether I
Yep.
healed anything
All right.
from this. So with that, sorry, I'm going to do my calculations. So that's 18.
All right, so 18. I'll say it again, the light moved past you.
Yep. So Wolfe, I mean, still, there's almost like an instinctual thing where he goes to grab the lamp. It's just like for whatever
So
reason.
all of you are going to see him, he's going to grab for the lantern.
Yeah.
That I'm holding.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't move past him, or I wasn't trying to. I was
You
moving
grabbed
to-
the lantern and you moved out.
Yeah, I'm
right?
moving to him.
Frankie's moving the tent back. You can't stand in the tent, so you've got to go past him to get
He
out.
was like right in the doorway.
Everybody's all jammed up in the tent flap right now.
Yeah.
So you
Everybody
move past him
kinda-
to get there.
Dr.
I mean,
Wright.
you didn't stop necessarily shining the light to him, but you moved past him. You had to
If
get
it
out.
matters, I only wanted to get out so I could get to him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's
Trust me,
the way
he's still there.
the way
out?
my
Okay,
vision
wait,
is
wait.
seeing. I'm so focused on this lantern.
So he will reach for the tent. I mean, he'll reach for the tent. Dear God,
I reach for the lantern.
he reaches for the lantern.
We all reach for the gun.
I'll let him have it. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I'm gonna probably
So-
ask what's going on with it.
I have to ask you, what do you reach for? The light, or the? Do you believe you're aware of the lantern?
I don't believe I'm aware of the lantern. I
So
believe
you
I'm
reach-
aware of the light. I'm still
All right.
in this weird
So
headspace.
you will watch him. You kind of
Okay.
go to give him the lantern, and he puts his hand into the flame.
pull it back. As soon as he puts his hand in the flame, I'm gonna pull it back.
And so, Dr. Wolfe, go ahead and give me a willpower roll.
No penalties on this.
And all of you are seeing this, and Raya, you are now up. The flaps have shut.
Yeah, I
but
figure
you're
I'm
gonna hear
holding it like
this.
behind me.
Oh, well then the flap is not shut, and you can see this.
No, I mean I'm holding it shut.
All right, then the flap is shut, and you
Oh
do
my
not
God.
see this.
Flap shut. We're all in the doorway.
I'm moving away from the doorway. I'm gonna find a rock to sit on.
So is it
and
just standard
stare.
willpower, or am I trying to keep the throat thing from happening? I need
Nope,
to
standard willpower.
Standard willpower. Okay, so so with that, sorry, I have to do my math. 16.
So at 16, everything is shattered. Suddenly, you have full vision. You are now back. I'm going to use the words colored vision.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that you have just put your hand in towards the lantern, and Dr. Wright is right there, has pulled the lantern back from you.
My boy, what are you doing? Why are you trying to grab the fire? How are you alive? And I'm gonna put my hand on his eye and like eyelid and lift it up and like check him.
But,
And I'll hold the lantern up.
That's
so
what I was waiting for you
Yeah.
to do. So as you bring it up, everybody who's around him, you will see it's as if he had been buried in sand and come up. All of the cuts and abrasions on him, everything has sand in it or on it. He looks dirty. The bandages that were placed around him, the wraps, many of them are just still wisping off him. He looks gray in color. He looked sort of gray in color when he went up. And you would be fairly certain at this point that if he were normal, he would be in shock.
Good God, my boy, you look awful.
Thank you for that scientific bedside manner. Sorry, I just thought like it was so close. It was so close, like right in front of my hands.
To what?
The light. I was so close to something.
Abrax will come up to you, Ayden, and ask, is he all right?
Yes, he's fine. He just merely needs to be cleansed from his ordeal. Come, Wolf, let us take care of your...
Okay.
So what are you going to do?
Ayden, do we have enough water to even clean this? His wounds are encrusted with sand.
And in the desert, there are other ways to clean yourself. And I'm gonna go over to the other tent and like get a fire going in there.
You're not going to do a fire in that small tent.
Okay.
You can do a fire outside of the tent if you want to.
Well, what I'm thinking of doing is like kind of setting it up for a sweat lodge, because I know some place.
Not out here.
Nah.
Not with the things you have.
Okay.
You'd be digging a huge hole.
Okay.
I'm gonna take him inside and say, we need to check
I'm not
you
gonna
out."
let him inside yet.
Well, okay, Frankie,
No. He can go in the little tent.
Fine.
I'll
I'll take
say-
him to the little tent.
Who's going in the little tent then? Who's following you?
I'll go to the little sale and say, Frankie, you know that actually is probably a good idea. I'm still a little sleepy. If you hear me shout for you, please come.
Ray, what are you doing?
I'm just staring in absolute disbelief.
At present,
I'm
there is
s-
nobody looking in the direction that he came from.
I'll take a peek, but for the most part,
Nothing that you can see. I'm just saying there's nobody on guard there. Abrax is on guard on this side of the tent, looking the opposite way.
I mean, for the most part, it's just the case of like, oh, we're gonna go fix him. he's back now. He's significantly worse than he was. It's like, typical.
It's really... So I do want to stress that it's really not typical. So with this group, yes, but with all of your dealings with Ayden in the past, the travels that you guys have gone on to, into the desert, through Cairo, you guys have actually gone out to Alexandria a number of times on the train. You have not dealt with anything like this. When you talk about when Ayden talks about things like mythology, history, lore, curses, all of these type of things, you pretty much could throw them all away, those that were not specifically the Catholic ones that you were raised with, and the things that you've seen, which have a physical form to you. You know what an animate or zombie or shadem or 25, 30 other names for it, but you know what those are. You had incidents in Jerusalem as you came down the far side and across the Anatolian plain, even just coming across the land from when you left Ireland. You've seen things. With Ayden, you would call the stuff you've seen normal until now. This is the first time it's taken on an occult feel to you that is so dramatically different than normal.
I mean, I feel like Ray is just kind of dumbfounded at the moment.
I can imagine.
Honest, I mean, he's the NPC that found himself a bunch of main characters. Now he's just dealing with their nonsense.
You're gonna be a main character if you like it or not.
And like, he's just kind of back to like, okay, I'm just gonna do guard duty because they attempted to fix Wolfe, and whatever Ayden did clearly didn't work.
Not by your thinking, no.
They just chose to not kill him in the desert, which was what apparently he wanted.
Right.
So, at this point, he's kind of like, I gotta start thinking about washing my hands of this and trying to forget about it.
Okay. So you go and take watch on the far side of the tent, which is where you were and would have been if he had not come, if you hadn't heard the moans on the wind.
Yep.
Okay. So, in the small tent, I believe I have Ayden, Dr. Wolfe, and Dr. Wright. Frankie, are you still holding the tent flap shut?
No, once Ray goes back on watch, Frankie actually had a thought for the first time in this game.
The two brain cells just...
Yeah, I'm gonna march into the little tent, and then I want to look at Dr. Wolfe's chest where he was burned previously.
Okay. So, Raya, you've been up. Frankie won't release the tent, and then all of a sudden the tent goes limp, and you have access to come out.
Oh, I'll go outside.
All right. So you're watching Frankie walk with purpose towards the small tent.
I'll go follow him.
They're probably stripping what clothes I have off me if I have any.
Frankie with purpose go into the small tent. So you guys are unwrapping him. As you're unwrapping him, of course, there's sand in everything because that's what the desert does, right? So as you're getting components done, Frankie, his shirt or his wrap around his chest is not off. Do you just come and
snatch it off? Yeah.
And tear it off. So Frankie just comes and kind of shreds a couple of the bits of clothing or linen that's across it and pull it down. So shredding that, the burn mark is still a burn mark, but it is not blackened anymore. It is gray in color, and he has what should be a normal scar from a burn.
So it looks different than all of the other ones.
Yep.
Ayden, I feel that our belief systems do not connect in many ways, but there is one thing that we have in common. You mentioned cleansing him. Fire is the greatest cleanser. And look, that's healed. I don't think that water is what we need here. It's madness, and it's against every law that I know, but I think we need to burn him.
Even Wolfe's like, after everything else I've gone through, and if I was trying to reach for the fire in that lamp, I think you might be right, Frankie.
Suppose we
I shall go get some lamp oil.
Mass hysteria!
Ray's gonna be sitting outside, all of a sudden the little tent's just on fire. I'm just like, what did you guys do?
So, What are we doing? Getting. Now, you do not have a tremendous amount of lamp oil. You can go to the camels, which are still pretty uncomfortable.
I mean, all you need
can
is just a
grab-
thin layer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Well, I mean, I
I figure I'm gonna oil him up. And then we'll leave
So,
him.
let's start with, is he going to be naked, or are you leaving some cloth on him?
He'll be naked.
All right.
Yep, I think we have
So
to.
when you're talking about oiling him, are you hand oiling? Are you pouring it on him?
I'm hand oiling him.
Okay. So you can get him pretty much head to toe. How much are you putting in his hair on his head?
Probably enough so it's like kind of like patted down.
Okay.
You know, type of thing.
All right. Is anybody stopping Ayden, saying anything?
Ayden's gonna go off, and I want to talk to Wolfe.
yeah.
There you go. So
Do
Wolfe,
I see what's going on?
Not yet. You watch Ayden walk out saying, "I'm going to get the oil from the camels."
What are you doing?
Completing the ritual.
Is he back?
Yes.
I'll stick my head in the tent.
Yep. There's Wolfe and there's Wolfe and Wright speaking. And what are you guys talking about?
And Wolf, and now that Wolf's like, you know, touching the burn and everything like that, I mean, how does it feel in comparison to like how it's been before?
Well, it's not crunchy.
Yeah? No, it's like, you are onto something, Frankie. It's remarkable, really, actually.
You know, with everything we've seen, I think it sounds just as plausible as burying you in the sand. And I mean, as a scientist, I'm interested, but Wolfe, you know, if this fails, you're probably going to burn to a crisp.
Burn? Are you crazy?
Oh, hi, Ryan.
Yes,
how
we
long
are.
have you been there?
Long enough.
Okay.
I'm not gonna let you burn another member of our group.
Oh, I'm not burning him. Ayden's burning.
At which point, Ayden, you have the oil and you're coming back to the tent flame.
And further, Raya, it is Dr. Wolfe's choice if he'd like to be burned, and Dr. Wolfe is choosing this.
And
He looks worse. Some ritual you did.
Don't question my ways. he has returned,
Raya slaps
and
him.
he's actually more coherent. You can tell he has proved.
He is more coherent than the last time you saw him.
He has
I'm
journeyed
actually
through the
talking
underworld.
I'm actually talking full
And
sentences.
at dawn, he will arise like the phoenix from his ashes.
Raya, I have no medicine or science to say to refute this right now. It's all a big crapshoot, Raya, and this is honestly probably the best chance we have.
Because this isn't science, this is spirituality.
I don't have time for that. I'm tired. But
He deserves salvation, Raya, and this is the path.
Abrax,
Do you want to be burned?
which none of you noticed, has come over and has touched Ayden on the shoulder. And he asks you in a low voice, he says, "What is going on?" He doesn't sound angry or anything.
that's kind
He
of
is
the odd
very
story.
confused because the group keeps going in and out of the tent, and you've grabbed oil from the camels.
Our friend has completed his journey through the underworld. We are now going to burn away his old self to free his new self at dawn.
So Abrax...
So hard to keep a straight face.
So Abrax will look at you, and for anyone else looking at Abrax, you're not going to understand. Ray's not there. You're not going to understand what he says. But Abrax gets a very calm look to him, and he says, "Very good." And he walks away.
Before he leaves, I'm going to put a hand on his shoulder and say, "Stay close, my son. You are about to witness a miracle."
So he'll look at you. He says, "For many of the tribes, you must know this is the way they move to the other side."
Yes, but how many of them have come back?
That makes his eyes go wide. And again, anyone that's watching him, he looks horrified. He might have dropped 2 shades of color out.
Frankie, I
He
don't
says,
think
"You intend to bring him back as Shadem?"
No,
Ghoul?
I intend to bring him back reborn. Like Osiris.
So he nods his head, does not seem anywhere near as confident as the first time, and he turns from you and walks to the tent. So Raya, he's gonna basically not brush by you, but walk past you, walk to the tent. Are any of you guys watching him, or are we just continuing on in the group?
I'm directly answering. It's like, as he's still like got the burn, he goes, Raya, Frankie might be onto something because my burn, all the other wounds, nothing's happened, but my burns, they feel like actual burn wounds. They've healed. They've actually healed somewhat. I think this has to be the next step.
If it's your choice, it's your choice.
I'm gonna roll my eyes at that.
All right, so everybody is standing there. So, tell me what you do.
Catch
You're oiling
Michael
him
on
up.
fire.
He is naked. We've got that. You put enough into his hair that it mats down. Where are you putting him to light him on fire?
A ways from the tent.
So
I'm not crazy. I don't want the tents to burn, so he's way back.
yes, Barry, I'm taking out Grayling's notebook, which I imagine had some more spaces to write. And
Certainly.
I'm gonna start drawing this incident.
Okay.
This whole thing. I'm gonna try and portray him well in case it doesn't work out.
I'm waiting out here with my weapons for when he animates. I'm gonna
Of course.
do what needs to be done.
Frankie.
I'm gonna, once we have him centered, I'm gonna pull out my iron cross and drop to my knees and just start feverishly praying.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you... Hold on a second, it's important. Are you praying for him for some kind of salvation?
Specifically salvation.
And specifically, are you thinking... What I guess I'm looking at is, are we leaning more towards the exorcism of something in your mind? Or are we leaning more towards his coming back better, righteous, that type
Yeah,
of thing?
more like Daniel in the furnace, you know.
Okay.
He's gonna come through this and be fine afterwards.
Okay, that's great. So any of you that are around him that know Catholic rites, you're going to totally know what she's doing. If, on the other hand, which I believe most of you would know the Anglican Church rites, you're going to have some idea of what Frankie is saying, unless is Frankie saying it specifically in the Latin? Which
Yeah, it
Frankie
would be
know.
Latin because it's Catholic.
So the two of you would know. The Raya and Ayden, you probably would not. Not that
The
you would say-
languages of three.
No, I'm saying not that you wouldn't know it's Latin. What I'm saying is specifically the passages that are being spoken and what their specific meaning is. I interrupted somebody.
I'm gonna go up to Wolfe, as he's getting ready to be burned. Say, well, my boy, I guess I get to... It's not many people who get to say goodbye to someone multiple times.
Honestly, I thought I was not coming back from that, from the sand originally, but I don't know. I feel different. Inside, at least, I feel different, and this is something needs to break loose.
Wolf, are you sure you want to do this?
I have to see this through. I have to see where it's through, or I'm going to die.
So the wind is slightly blowing. It is definitely cold for everyone. Oddly, with that bit of oil covering you, it is not affecting you as much as you would have expected if you were completely naked. In putting the oil on him, there's going to be sand that's going to mix in. I know you're not rubbing the oil in, so you're not scratching with the sand. But are you trying specifically to clear the sand? So let me give you a specific example.
Let me give you what I could give you the details
Sure.
of what I do. So I have him stand in the tent. I basically
in the tent.
Before we get him all oiled up.
You're oiling him in the tent, though, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So there will be oil across the base of the tent in the blankets for the small tent. Which is why I'm asking, because I assumed outside. That's
Okay,
why I'm asking.
we'll take him outside then.
Okay.
But basically, I'm going to brush all the sand off him, all
How?
the grit. I have like my archaeology tools,
Okay,
so
you'll-
I'm just
you'll
going to
go
do
through-
that.
And that's what I needed to know. You'll go through all the cuts as best you can.
Right.
Right?
And then once that's done, I'm going to oil him up,
Okay.
and then I'm going to have him stand out there, and I'm going to wait for dawn. In that time we're waiting for dawn.
Okay, so that's a few hours.
Is
You
it
know
okay?
that.
I thought we were closer to
No,
the morning.
no.
Nope. So then I'm going to grab a large blanket,
Mm-hmm.
and then while she's praying, I'm going to get that ready, and then I'm going to light a torch and go up to him and go.
And light him on fire.
Yep.
Okay. Are you lighting him only in one place?
Or are you?
Right on the chest, like
Okay,
right
so
there.
basically where the scar already was, that
Yeah.
type of thing.
And
Okay,
it's going to spread up from.
all right.
And go
Yes,
down.
Ray.
I'd like to roll whatever it is to notice all of a sudden the sand, all of a sudden, like fire shadows. and,
Right.
like-
Oh yeah. Well, we're not there yet, but go ahead and get your wits perception ready. All right. So as you are finishing, you got the blanket. The blanket. What's the intention of the blanket? I
To
suspect I
smother
know.
the flames.
Very
after,
good.
After
All
he's
right.
burned a couple of minutes.
Okay. So I have Frankie kneeling, praying. Dr. Wright is drawing pictures. Raya.
I'm waiting with my weapons out. I
Very
think
good.
he's
Expecting
gonna.
him to die and then animate.
Yes.
Ayden, you are standing there with the blanket at your side. All right? As you're getting ready, you will notice that because they will come into view, there is no light yet. Abrax, Ra, Bess, and Zosser. Zosser does not look well, but he looks enough to stand. They are there standing. Each of them has their weapon out and at their side, each of them in their right hand. For you, Ayden, you know that that is ceremonial in some way. All right? As you get ready, as you light the torch, you'll see movement. Marud comes out and stands by the four Egyptians. When this is, again, very seldom do you see them together. But they are standing almost as maybe an honor guard for especially for the ones from the Metropolis, from London. You guys would think honor guard, Buckingham Palace guard, that type of thing. Marud steps into that position, but he holds his weapon in his left hand, and it's not the weapon you guys are used to seeing him with. It is actually a sword.
Oh.
All right, so the torch gets lit.
Right.
You stick it in him, and the fire starts. Are you only lighting the one spot?
Actually, I was thinking about it. I'd probably do the legs.
All right.
And then do the chest.
All right.
Something.
And again, you have removed all pieces of other stuff that was on him. He is
Correct.
wearing nothing. It has no linen strips on him.
He is. Yep. He is how he entered this world.
All right. So you light the legs, and then you go to the chest as well. Are you lighting the back side at all?
Yes.
All right. Tell me the order you're doing.
Okay. So I'm gonna do front of the feet, back of the feet,
Yep.
posterior, and then chest,
Very good.
and
all
then
right.
probably head.
So,
Shoulders.
meaning the hair,
Yeah, like the.
not right in the face.
No, not. I'm not like. It's like the back of the head, though.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
So,
And I will be consumed eventually.
all right. So, to begin with, you light the front, and everybody can hear that crackle. You light the back, and Ray, what did you get?
15.
Yeah, there's light going.
Why are we
on the other
starting
side
a
of the
fire?
tent.
And I start walking around beside
Okay.
tent.
And that's what you are going to see. Now, you will have the same awareness as Ayden. The first thing you see before you realize that it is Wolfe that's on fire, you will see the four Egyptians standing in ceremony. You will also see Frankie kneeling near them, already chanting something. Actually, you're Catholic. Chanting, you know what the chant is. It's a chant of salvation. As you step closer, you realize that Ayden has just it's going to sound funny, but has just lit Wolfe's butt on fire and has moved around the front to
We're
put the torch
probably
into
facing
his,
to where the sun is going to rise. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's the
That's the
position.
hope.
Yeah.
and he lights his chest. You continue to move closer.
Well, once I see the man on fire, it's just that moment. I'm just like, what the hell is happening?
I catch his eyes, I'll wave at him. And I'll wave to come sit.
It's okay.
Right.
We're going to watch a man die. It's fine.
I am going to ignore that. I'm going to start moving towards the camels.
Okay, very good. So you'll stand with the camels. Now, as the hair gets lit, that makes a completely different sound from everyone. There is an instantaneous crackling sound. The camels do start to get restless as the flame light gets bigger, not losing their minds. Just you can tell that the ones that are closest to it are aware. Are you
Okay.
going to try and calm them?
No, I'm going to find my camel and get on.
Oh, he's riding away.
That's probably
He's done.
Okay, so Wolfe, for you, when your hair gets lit, I need a willpower save.
Anybody else getting hungry? Just curious. No.
Well, if it
That
doesn't
is
work
18.
out-
All right, so with an 18, for everyone else, you will hear him starting to moan. You don't realize you're doing it or hear yourself doing it. As his hair lights and is now lit, so we have an actual fan of flame coming up there, the hair goes much faster than anywhere else. Yes, Dr. Wright?
Oh no, I'm just listening.
All right. So he is now mostly engulfed. I need to know, Dr. Wolfe, what are you doing? Presently, I envision that you start with your hands at your side.
Yeah, here's the big thing. Do I actually feel like I'm in pain?
Not yet, not with an 18.
Yeah, and
your body is in pain. Everyone else
Yeah.
knows it. You are making noises.
Yeah.
You do not.
I do not, but as far as I know, I for whatever reason, I feel caught up in whatever's happening here.
There
And
is definitely
and
light.
There's this moment as I'm feeling myself engulfed. I'm just like lifting my hands up towards like whatever like this thing, like I'm like letting this light fill me, embrace me, and everything
Frankie,
like
do you
that.
have theology?
No.
I have theology.
That's not going to help Frankie.
I have the
Oh, sorry, I have mythology.
Yeah, I didn't think you do. Frankie, do you have thanatology?
Also no.
I
All right.
have thanatology.
I have
Will
that too.
help?
Again, not going to help Frankie. So
Frankie, you just gotta believe. That's all.
I do.
Frankie, give me a willpower roll.
Okay.
Do it. Add your concentration.
Nice.
I'm sorry. Willpower?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's willpower plus
Okay,
will plus
16.
your concentration.
16.
Yeah.
All right. So, Frankie, there have been times when you were with both the sisters and the father in the church where you had the feeling you were suffused with a warmth or a light or an electricity that you couldn't explain. Not mythical, you don't have some kind of weird sense to it, you just know it happens. You are suffused with that feeling again. You continue your chant.
Yeah.
Ray, what are you doing? You're on the camel. You are watching this. He's on fire. He is pretty much fully on fire presently. Nothing is happening beyond that. He is just on fire.
Frankie may be chanting
A hymn of
Catholic
salvation.
hymn of salvation, but there's something else going on here in Ray's mind.
Okay.
And I mean, he's saddled up. He's got his canteen. He's off.
You just start to ride away.
Yes,
You
Okay.
stole water from us.
that's my canteen.
His canteen, not one of the pack camels. So, Ray, just so you have an idea, you will get 20 feet away from where the rest of the camels are, and very quickly you feel the cold. You will get 50 feet away, and you will feel biting, bitter cold, similar to the cold that you were dealing with when you were going to the cistern with the first group of Bedouins. It is a very distinct and definite change in temperature. And the farther you get away, the colder it seems to get, to where it starts getting into your bones. Just let you think about that for a little bit. Ayden, you are not chanting, you are just ready to...
Yes. As soon as I see the skin blacking on
Okay.
him, that is when I'm gonna.
That's going to be your response. Raya, anything? Just watching.
I'm just watching. He hasn't animated yet, so I'm...
Okay, so for all of you, I'm going to say, Frankie, you're going to be, if you want to have an action with this, you are going to be -3 because of what you are doing. You are going to be -1, Dr. Wright, because you are doing the artwork. If you want to make the roll, you can. Marud is going to step up to the now mostly engulfed in flames Dr. Wolfe. Is anyone going to try and do anything, react to him? All right, very good.
I will. I mean, I'm gonna stand in front of him.
You'll move to block him?
Yeah.
So he will say to you very quietly, but maybe not. Go ahead and give me a charm roll.
Please let us catch him on fire, Marud.
Oh please, just
Oh,
one,
please.
just
Please.
one.
15.
Wow. All right. So you can tell that his intent is to be menacing, but you are not fearful of him. He says, "Move aside."
What is your intent?
My intent is to help him on his way, and you can see his direction is his sword.
That will not be needed here. Stand back and await his rebirth.
Okay. Give me another charm roll.
Do I notice him pull his gun and his sword out?
No, he didn't move his sword. He just stepped forward.
So that's actually 18.
Okay. So he looks at you once. His eyes glare, but he steps back. Dr. Wolfe, give me another willpower roll. You are at -3.
How many people get a W against Rude?
No, they definitely don't.
Way to go.
Yeah, okay. With that, with the -3 plus 3, that is 15.
Okay, so 15. You are starting to feel something, without a doubt. You need to decide what it is that you're feeling. Obviously, burning sensation, but I mean, you need to decide what you're feeling. Are you rebirthing, which is what everyone is expecting you to do? This is what you thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Are you fucking on fire, which is what everyone sees but doesn't seem to be reacting to? What do you do?
I feel that rebirth is a good way to put it, but it's more, I am feeling alive. I feel that life returning to me. I feel evolution in that moment. That not quite exactly the throat transformation, but I do feel that surge. That energy is coming through me.
Okay.
If it's going to lead to rebirth, it's going to lead to something else. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm embracing it. I'm feeling this is it. I know I'm right here.
His head no longer has hair on it. The flames on his head have rescinded to almost nothing. Okay. There is the flame that's coming up where his skin has oil on it, and it is still burning.
When babies are born, they don't have hair sometimes, so, that's okay.
I get it. Everybody's still okay with Dr. Wolfe being on fire. Yeah. All right. So, Dr. Wolfe, we are going to pass another round. Go ahead and give me a willpower roll. You are now at -5.
Okay. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, this one's not going to be that good. Let's go with add 1. Okay, that one is 10.
Are you going to stay with 10? I'm not trying to scare you. I just need to know if you're going to stay there.
You know what? In rules of 3, I want to succeed at least one more time. So can I spend a chip?
Yes.
You spend more than one.
Well, I think this is going to be okay. This is going to be 14.
Okay. So for all of you, the moans have turned into more of a cry. For all of you who've had pain, you can hear the pain coming from him. But he is not stopping. He is holding his hands now at full height, palms facing towards his face, but raised completely to the heavens, which means that those flames are more dancing up his arms than they are up his face. You were saying that when his skin blackens, you'll move in. His skin is not blackened yet. It is red and raw in areas. You do not see any hair. The hair amongst his armpits is gone. The hair in his nether regions is gone. He has no hair on his legs. As far as you can tell, there are mottled patches of a couple pieces of hair across his eyebrows, but it looks like his eyelashes have all curled back to almost nothing.
All right, I'm going to wait. Give it a couple more here.
Okay.
When I start to hear him cry, I'm going to approach with my weapons.
Ayden, you put your hand out?
Yes.
We have to stop this. He's...
Soon.
This is his choice. Let him complete it.
One more round passes. Dr. Wolfe, you are at -7. Also, just so that you know, you have a level 1 wound in everything. You have a light wound in every position on your body.
All right, perfect.
He's suffering.
I really don't think I'm going to make this one. I'm not going to try to make this one. That is a 2.
All right. So at this point, he screams out. The 4 Bedouins all raise their swords in his direction, and Marud puts his sword across them to stop them from striking him. What are you doing, Raya?
I am going to get ready to
Take his head off.
put him out of his misery.
Very good. Dr. Wright, the light from the fire is less. It's not out by any means, but it is less. The main portion of the flaming portion is done. He is still burning. Are you doing anything? You've heard this cry. This cry of pain.
Fascinated?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is, honestly, at this point, if it does not work, he is probably going to wish he would be dead. So, in Dr. Wright's mind, he wants to see the fire continue. He wants to see, because he thinks that's the closest thing, because either his body is going to adapt and evolve, which actually at this point, since he's probably finished his like mad scribbling, he'll stand up and just basically shout out to him, "Adapt and evolve, Wolfe! Adapt and evolve!"
So there is basically a process within the human body and with muscle in general where you press the muscle and you press it to the point where it has two choices. It's either going to break or release. That same sort of process, and I apologize, I don't remember the exact name of the process, but that same sort of process is what you're thinking of here, is the way I envision it for you. You're looking at it as he's got two choices. He either comes through it or he dies, but it's a little more, for you, it's a little more sciencey and a little less philosophical.
Do I see Ayden have like the blanket?
You do see Ayden getting ready. He has opened the blanket to put it on.
Ayden, don't stop it. Let him do this. He can do this or he won't, but he needs to be the one to evolve.
And we're not going to do it on mic because it would hurt everyone's ears, but he is screaming through this. So you're yelling over it, but it's not like nobody can hear this. Frankie, for you, you have felt that thrill, that electricity, that heat. And now you can probably connect it to heat more than anything else. That heat has billowed up in you and is now slowly coming away from you. You feel it pull away from you. You think it's pulling across the cross into Dr. Wolfe. That's what you feel by your perception. If you want to fight it, you're certainly welcome to roll. But if that fits
double
for what
down
you're thinking,
and push it forward if
very
possible.
good. All right. And so, Ayden, are you going to cover him? I would say probably he is 75% on fire instead of the near 100% that he was.
So Dr. Wright says that, and I'm looking at him, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm going to let him burn
one more round.
Right.
Stoke the fires, Ayden! Let him evolve!
All right. So on this roll, you are going to be subtracting 9. You now have a serious wound in every part of your body.
Yeah,
Use
I have a lot of
blood.
dice. Yeah, I will use that. Yeah, that's not gonna. That would be a 6 total at this point.
All
I'm
right.
gonna try to spend a die. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend. Keep that. Ooh.
You're all mad.
Okay. This
Yes.
might.
Like a fox.
That is a 14.
Okay, so with a 14, the flames continue to rescind from him. He is, for all of you, he is still screaming out in pain. But Dr. Wolfe, you still are not. You're aware of a noise in the background. More kind of an annoyance, a buzzing.
Yeah.
The light, the beautiful flaming light that you were seeing is starting to reduce, pull back. Not that your vision is closing in on you, but the what you were able to see in lightness is pulling away.
Okay. At this point, I've realized I've got to. It's more than just stay standing. I got to reach out and embrace it. So it's like there's this moment where he's like reaching out. He's trying to reach out and like grab the sun as far as he knows and like pull it into himself. At this point, it's
So you guys will all
outside
see for this
scene.
round, his hands go up to the heavens, grab at something, and pull it down into his chest with his hands crossed across his chest. That will put out some of the flame that is on him. For all of you, there's nobody that's not going to feel pain looking at the burns that are on him. Dr. Wright.
I don't feel pain for him. I feel hope for him. So I actually stand. I'm already standing at this point, but the book is pretty much not the drawing isn't really my focus anymore. I start taking steps forward, shouting at him to evolve or die.
Okay, very good. Ayden.
Do it right. Or Wolfe?
As he starts doing that, as soon as like he gets his hands to his chest,
Yes.
that's when I'm going to hit him with the blanket.
Then you
and
drape
just
him.
wrap it around and just kind of tackle him down to the
Okay.
sand and start patting him out.
Very good. So you guys will all smell now, because we've been 30 seconds. You will all now smell that burning meat smell, that burning hair smell. You guys are finally not so focused
Who
on
made
it.
pork chops?
And Dr. Wolfe, go ahead and this time give me a willpower roll. You are at -5.
I'm probably cursing Ayden at this point for stopping it. Just, damn it!
14.
Well,
14.
that's because you're a sociopath.
So
No, because I have
when
trust.
the blanket is placed around him, the scream, of course, is muffled. When Ayden brings him to the ground, the scream cuts out. You can feel, Ayden, a slight movement up and down on him. He is still breathing. It seems to be fairly measured. You would expect, from everything that's happened, that it would be ragged and jagged, but it is fairly measured and constant.
I run up.
I'm going to place my hands on the blanket on him,
Mm-hmm.
and I am going to start saying a prayer.
So that's what you see, Dr. Wright, when you step towards it.
We've got to keep him here until sunrise.
Right.
What are you doing, Dr. Wright?
I mean, at this point, I look down and I'm just like, get up, Wolfe. Wolfe,
Ayden, just you're hearing this.
get...
For all the rest of you, everyone can act. Ray, it's at the coldest it's getting. It's not getting colder as you ride away, but it is bitingly cold where you are.
Well,
And the light from the camp is gone now.
okay, we're just assuming he rode away. Okay, fine.
Keep going. What are we doing?
With those burns, he's suffering. Let me end his suffering.
He's not suffering. Have some faith.
Get up, Wolfe, now!
Now, Ayden, you had said that you were expecting to leave him down till dawn, which is a
Well,
long ways up, but
Dawn
Wright-
or until he starts, like,
All right.
you know.
So Wright is yelling. So, Dr. Wolfe, Michael, I'm going to let you decide what you think you would do. I'm not going to put you to dice rolls. You can feel the pressure of being wrapped, mummified, pulled into a new space, however you envision it. You are definitely in total darkness at this point. Whether you are blind, or your eyes have been covered, or your eyelids are shut, you can decide that yourself. What happens?
So, everything else still feels like noise, and it's dark. Everything's dark in that moment, and oddly enough, despite the pain and everything like that, it's maybe it's so much pain that his mind can't really quite fully process it.
I would think that's right.
Which is probably leading into sort of almost these vision things. It's like it's dark, but he real something like weird in the weird dream logic and everything. Like he pulled that light into him. The fire burned out, but it receded, but he pulled it in, and it's inside, and he feels that strength, that something, the change, whatever it is, the burning kickstarted it. He can feel it moving, metamorphosizing in him, and it's surging in him. And whether it's like it might take like maybe a few minutes or something like that, but eventually there is a moment he starts to move. He starts to twist because
Ayden, you're feeling
whether it's a transformation or whether it's something else, it's not entirely certain, but it is this moment of like it's time to come out. It's time to break free.
all of you are hearing kind of a sandpapery crackle and crunch right now.
And I'm going to carefully cut the blanket open.
Okay.
Like a womb or a cesarean.
All right. Well, so here's the thing: you're cutting with your weapon while he's moving. Go ahead and give me an unarmed. Wouldn't be unarmed combat. It would be. Maybe it would be. Where's my list? I apologize.
Wait, no, I'm gonna stop him. I'm gonna try and stop Ayden.
Yep. You can tell.
I'm gonna
it's
try and
melee
stop.
weapon attack.
So I'm gonna say, Ayden, stop! Let him do this on his own, and I'm gonna try and grab the knife from him.
Very good. Give me an unarmed combat roll. Ayden, your coordination is
4.
so you will need a 15 or higher, Doctor. Right?
I don't have it, so let's see what I get. Oh my. Well, 15 plus I have a 0 in it.
Yep. So 15 plus 0 is a 15. Very good. He holds the knife back. What do you do?
He must be brought into this world. This is his rebirth.
Needs to do it himself, Ayden. This is his whole thesis. This is his whole reason to be. He needs to evolve on his own.
And while the two of you are arguing, Dr. Wolfe, go ahead and give me a coordination roll. So as you two are kind of arguing over him, he is still thrashing about in there.
Oh, sorry. And I'm still having the serious wounds right now.
Correct.
So,
You're still the -2.
Gotcha. So, well, that makes that easy. So that is 15.
Okay. You're getting out of a blanket. So, not a problem. As you guys are leaned over him, actually, his hand will actually hit you Do you back away as you notice that the blankets are being spread past?
If Ayden doesn't back away with me, I'm pulling back.
All right,
I'll
so
back up.
Frankie, you're seeing him come out of the blanket. Now, the first thing is that horrific smell of burnt meat comes out as he opens up. Do you continue chanting, or are you done?
I figure I would just finish.
Close
whatever
out the
I was
last
on.
stanza?
Yeah, and then
Very
put it-
good.
Yeah.
For everyone that is close, so Raya, you're going to make a decision if you are close, but for the other three
Yeah,
of
I'm
you,
close.
bits of blackened skin, some of it wet, some of it not, will strike you.
Ew.
Right? So, Raya, you're close, that'll be all four of you. I'm not telling you you're covered in it. I'm saying small bits with an awareness.
Between all the zombie vomit and everything else, this is actually kind of
Right,
nice.
how many things have been
change.
vomited on you, Frankie, over the last
Well,
3
this is
weeks,
also
4
a
weeks?
better sign that there's actually wetness. And there's actually... Yeah.
So, he has thrashed his way out. Would you stay down or would you stand up?
There's this moment of like, he's like twisting, like it's almost like he's trying to break out of his shell moment. But there is a moment where he's going to actually start to stand up.
Okay, so for all of you, I'm sure that your focus would be on Dr. Wolfe. But you will notice all 4 of the Bedouins will back away. And if anyone specifically looks at their faces, there is horror and fright. They all back away.
I mean, I'm glued to Dr.
Marood
Wolfe.
is just standing there. He hasn't moved after stopping them from striking. So as you get up, go ahead at this point and give me another willpower roll. You are at -2, which is just from the serious wounds.
Okay. Oh wow, I rolled really well, a 9 and a 10 plus 4. That is 23.
So he is able to stand up. Now that the blanket's off him and he's standing there, there is steam just billowing off of him. Think of him as a piece of meat that you just took off the grill, all right? He looks horrible. Everybody make a willpower roll. Did anybody not make a 14?
Got it.
I got that with my concentration and everything.
14 exactly.
Perfect. All right. So for all of you, this is horrifying. This is somebody that is either a friend or a traveling companion or a intellectual combatant. But either way, this is somebody that you knew. All of you would think in a normal world, for his safety, for his comfort, you would put him down in the condition that he is in. He is, however, for all of you, streaming blood from cracks and cuts in his skin. He has, again, basically no hair on his body anywhere. There is no part of his body that doesn't look blackened or burned, except for, oddly enough, when he blinks, his eyelids. They look dirty. They do not look burned. Somehow, they didn't get burned in the process. What are you doing?
As I'm staring and I'm seeing like blood streaming down and everything like that, it's like it's not. It never immediately sealed anyway back when it was normal throat stuff anyway. But he's looking at this. Oh, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Ray, are you still moving away from camp? Okay. Where are you going? When are you stopping? Etc., etc.?
I am going to that weird pool that we had in that little canyon.
Oh boy. All right. Very good.
He's going. You're gonna go.
He's going for a while.
He's going for a while.
So, for the rest of you, what are you going to do next? You've got him laughing here. It's cold. It's not horrifically cold, but it's cold. And now that you don't have a fire to warm yourselves by, it's getting colder. If you look around, Abrax has moved to the front of the tent. He is standing with his sword drawn, which he wasn't before. The others are nowhere in sight. It records in everyone's head, so you guys connect to it. Ray got on the camel and left. Ray has not come back. Marood takes one more look at Dr. Wolfe, bows his head, makes what appears to be the sign of the cross on his body, and then walks back and goes back into the tent.
Oh, God.
And leaving the 5 of you alone out here, other than Abrax standing in front of the tent.
I can feel it.
I'm at a loss, honestly. I have no idea.
I'll start bringing him to that small tent.
Okay. So you walk him. Are you saying anything? Or
Yeah,
you just grabbing him?
I laugh. I'm looking at. I'm looking at. It's like it's. Oh God! It's flowing again. It's not stopping.
I'm watching him, and I actually have a theory why the eyelids are still there. So I'm going to be looking like at the tips of his fingers, at like his ears, things like that. I'm going to see if it's starting to regenerate. Because those are like the thinner flesh areas. They
Gotcha.
like, regenerate quicker, I imagine.
So, I'll tell you if anything changes. Frankie, that's what Ayden's doing. What are you doing in reaction to that?
I didn't really think it was gonna work the whole time. Like I was.
You wanted it
moved.
to.
I wanted it to,
Yeah.
but I really thought he was gonna die. Like in my logical part of Frankie's brain. So he's just kind of dumbfounded.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a miracle.
Cold is starting to suffuse your body.
I don't think he's gonna notice. I
Okay.
think he's like on like
Just-
a euphoria.
You've still got
Yeah.
the cross out? And just
Probably just
kinda
holding it at this point, but
Okay.
yeah.
Raya.
I've never seen a miracle before. I didn't know if I believed in miracles until I saw this.
Yeah, I mean, Frankie's speechless. I mean, he's always.
I enjoy the fact that everybody's kind of speechless.
I looked at you guys and say, I'm gonna go find Ray. You take care of him. And if he animates, finish this.
Of course.
And you're
I'm
going to
gonna go
hop on
hop
the camel? Do you have riding?
I do.
Go
He
ahead
sure
and give
does.
Go ahead and give me a roll.
I'm just gonna, if I hear that, I'm just gonna shake my head at, the non-believers.
The non-believers, I like it.
Meanwhile, Dr. Wright is like, yes.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get to Dr. Wright, because he's going to be the interesting end to this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
17.
So with a
Dr. Wright, our
17,
powers are
you will get on the camel and start riding. Just so you know, you will catch Ray. Ray is not racing at breakneck speed. So, Dr. Wright, you have Frankie sitting there, quieter than normal, holding the cross, looking contemplative. Raya says what Raya said, goes over, saddles, hops a camel, and leaves. You're hoping in the direction that Ray went, otherwise now 2 of your people and both of them bodyguards have left. What are you doing?
Oh, I don't
Your patient
care.
has already gone into the tent.
I don't care about any of them.
Mhm.
I would have honestly been following along and
Very good.
talking to him the whole time, if
So-
possible.
He's not responding to you, but Ayden gets him inside the tent. What are you doing? Ayden, what are you doing?
Following along into
Yep,
the tent.
yep, you're inside the tent. You have him in there.
So I'm talking to him. I'm saying, oh, Dr. Wolfe, you're okay. What are you feeling? Tell me. It's not very often I get to talk to somebody who's been immolated.
Oh, I can feel it surging through me. This is just the start. This is just the start. I'm just,
I put on some gloves,
And
and then I just start honestly like I'll pick a part of the blackness off, and I'm just I'm honestly just messing with like maybe part of your arm, unless you stop me.
No, he's not stopping you at this moment. He's kind of like I said, he's in whatever fucking headspace he's in because
Sure.
of like pain and euphoria and whatever this feeling that is inside him that he feels like this. Like he feels like for whatever reason it's like this is just a beginning, and this is just there is so much further this can go, but for right now this is where he's at, and it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to him at this moment in this sense, and there will probably be a point he's going to fall unconscious because it's a lot.
So, it's not beautiful by any means to you. And you don't hear him necessarily saying that. But as you're picking pieces off, some of the pieces just literally peel away with a little bit of a... But a lot of the pieces are still stuck to him. To remove the burnt piece would be to remove a piece of flesh that is still clinging at some level.
I mean, I'm
clean as best you can. Are you utilizing drugs, water, or are you just picking off what'll come off?
No, I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just I'm gonna try to pick at the skin, see if a piece of it comes off. I'm looking to see if underneath it's starting to heal. I'm thinking either this succeeded or whatever is in him is keeping him alive long enough for him to suffer.
Give me a medicine roll. Now, give me a wits perception roll first, then give me a medicine roll.
While he examines him, I'm going to go out and grab some scotch
Okay.
and bring it back.
Pour it on the wound.
No, he's grabbing the food. Scott.
And pour it on the wounds.
So for that, it's a 26 for the wits.
Okay.
Sorry, not 26. 21.
21. So, while you're making your other roll, as the area where he was burned, the old scar that was there appears to be just as broken and split apart as everywhere else. You can see small bits of that scar remaining in the tissue that you can manipulate from there. Some comes off, some doesn't. But it looks like the burn burned through the scar.
Okay.
And for your medicine roll.
So I used a reroll and got double 1, so I don't know nothing.
Wow. All right. You should know this anyway. Clinically, he shouldn't necessarily be dead, but he should not be standing up, moving. He should be at death's door, and without some kind of pain reducer, that type of thing, he should be screaming. And actually, there's a part of you that thinks it's probably going to come on. If he's in the same shock you thought he was in coming out of the desert, when that shock wears off, you would, as a doctor, not who you are, but as a doctor, you would very seriously think about giving him something to knock him out and still giving his body pain reducers and antibiotics. Okay? He is not healing.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a long time.
So it's just us in the tent right now, right?
It's the three of you, right? Yeah, it's the three of you.
Yeah.
Because he just left.
Oh, Ayden left?
Yeah, I left to go get Scott.
Right, but then you come back with the
We
Scott.
actually didn't hear whether he saw with the fingertips and his theory of the eyelids and the fingertips and stuff was correct or not. I don't think we made that roll.
He made the roll and does not see you healing yet.
Right. I wanted to know, but he also wanted to see if he had the theory whether the fingertips.
Everything is burned.
Okay.
The eyelids are just about the only things that are dirty but not burnt.
Okay. Well, then my thinking now is he's probably going to need a lot of food to restart the engine type of thing.
So you do come back with a brick of scop.
I'm going to try and talk to him before Ayden gets back.
You've got time?
Yeah.
Wolfe, we probably don't have much time before Ayden gets back. I need to know what you want to do. Doesn't look like you're healing. We could try to induce your survival instincts or whatever is in you further, but we don't have much time.
I think we're in the middle of it, Doctor. I don't want to mess with anything else.
You don't want any pain medicine, any antibiotics, anything to help.
No, we're in the middle of it right now. I'm feeling it.
I need to hear you say it. You don't want any medical attention. You want to hear this through.
I'm feeling it, Doctor. I'm feeling it. He's so far gone. Yeah.
I was hoping it'd be easy.
No.
Good enough for me.
Choosing to
Ayden is back.
disobey doctor's orders.
And Ayden is back with Scott.
Right. I'm going to say here, your body probably needs food.
Would you take it?
Yeah, I'll there's an offering, and it's like, oh yes, I'll take it. And
So as you start to chew it, give me a willpower roll. You're at your normal -2.
okay.
Then he eats me.
You know it. 17.
Okay. There is pain as you are masticating it. The pain is all across your face. As you swallow, you start feeling the pain move down your neck in the direction that you swallowed. Even when you stop, that pain is starting to come forward. You're feeling it around the sides of your head, up in your ears. And now, as you're starting to feel it, you can take another bite, but as you are chewing that, you are starting to feel it all throughout your genitalia. The bottoms of your feet are giving you pain, and the small of your back is starting to give you pain. And you can hear him, both of you can hear him groaning, but he is chewing, and it looks horrible to watch, but he is swallowing what he's chewing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop.
He gives you back the scop.
Okay. Wrap it up. I'll leave it here for later.
Go ahead and give me a willpower roll. You're now at -4.
Ayden, he believes that he's in the middle of his transformation, and he wishes to see it through.
Okay. With a 7, you are now in pain. It connects. Maybe the synapses have finally fired in the right direction, but you are in pain all over.
Yeah.
You wait for a moment as you're moaning, and everyone, you can see you can see him holding something, and you can hear that moan. That moan starts to turn to a rock, and for Dr. Wright, you will see that he is shivering. That pain is getting to a point where you will not be able to control it. It's not stopping, and it's increasing. How does anyone react?
Well, currently, rocking and about to, unleash the mother of all screams here. I don't think he's in his full right head at the moment to do anything.
You guys will see that.
Wolfe, I want to see you succeed on this. Evolve, Wolfe. And I'll stand up. I mean, the tent's big enough for us to stand in, right?
Yes, just barely in the center, yes.
So
you can stand and bend over him.
I'll stand up and say, I'll be here until it ends.
Yeah.
Dr. Wright, give me a medicine roll. Ayden, reacting, doing anything?
Yeah, I'm just sitting there. If he wants a hand to grip, I'll put my hand there.
19 for medicine.
He is shaking uncontrollably. Any other person in any other instance, if they were in your medical care, you would knock them out.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
He told me what he wanted.
Very good. All right, we don't need to make the roll. He starts screaming. He will move his hands about his body. He is continuing to scream. It's enough, Frankie, that you're going to start hearing it. That is something in pain. Massive pain. If you guys will let it go 2 more rounds, Frankie, a couple of people will come out of the tent and look around. Very quickly, everyone is coming out of the tent. Cal, for you, Frankie, you'll see Maroon and Cal run to the small tent, but Cal sticks his head in and says, "My God, what is going on in here? What's he?" And now gets to see full light. What happened to him?
Cal, can you bring us a stirrup?
I'll look over at him confused.
Cal just looks horrified, but it seems to connect through and says, "Yes." And Frankie, you will see Cal run towards the camels, fiddle with something in the front end, run back and hand it to you.
And then I'll say, put it in his mouth and say, "Wolf, bite down."
So to get it in there, you're going to give me an unarmed roll.
My hand!
Can I...
Welcome
can
to
I
the
aid
throat,
him?
brother. Doctor.
Yeah, you can aid him. So go ahead and give me a roll as well.
So it's unarmed.
Unarmed combat.
I don't have that.
Your coordination, Dr. Wolfe, is?
My coordination is 3, but of course I'm at -2 with all the pain, but probably more.
What stat is this attached to?
Coordination.
Coordination.
So 4 plus.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
just
that's
12.
what I took.
Okay.
So 9, 5, 14 plus coordination makes it 19.
So with a 19, you're basically ineffectual at this point,
Yeah.
Doctor. But it's work. You are doing everything you can. You're basically fighting as he's screaming, and he is shaking uncontrollably. You're using your hand and the straightness and the cut of the stirrup to push his mouth open and shove it in there. When it's in there, he is grinding into it. Again, he is still... Cal looks at you and says, "Doctor, do something. Give him something."
I am doing something, Cal.
You are sitting
doing
there. Give
what
him
he
something.
wishes, Cal. He will see this through and evolve, or he will die. That was his wish. That is what he asked of me, and
Cal's
that will
looking
be
at you,
done.
ignoring Dr. Wright, is looking at you. Ayden, you can't let this happen.
Pain is a method of transference. He wishes to feel the journey.
Do not try to stop this, Cal.
Cal looks back and forth between the two of you 2 times and says, "You're insane. You're absolutely insane," and steps out of the tent.
And you lack vision and faith.
As you say, as he steps out of the tent. So you guys can hear a quiet talking, which kicks into more voices. Frankie, you'll see that Mei Ling has also joined the 3 of them, and they are all talking. You are shaking uncontrollably at this point, Dr. Wolfe. Go ahead and give me a willpower roll.
Frankie's gonna start patrolling.
Okay, good, because no one else is except Abrax, who's watching at the front of the tent.
Any further penalties?
No further penalty.
I'm going to start singing him a lullaby that my mom used to sing for me when I had a sick or
15.
fever or stuff.
So he is now screaming to a point where it is near deafening for you guys. He is thrashing about.
Even with the stirrup in my mouth.
Well, oh no, I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
stirrup there, he is gargling something, and that.
Right.
At one point, you will see a portion of it fall off. He has ground through it. Okay,
We're gonna
so
need it
Frankie,
first,
you
right?
are going to see Mei Ling nod her head once and run back in the tent. 2-3 rounds later, comes running back out, leans in. So Dr. Wright and Ayden, go ahead and give me, it would be wits perception roll. You are at -5.
Strange. Kung Fu Mastery.
Damn.
Ah, damn. I'm going to keep that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, I don't think
I got
we know.
4.
All right, so you're focused on
Yeah.
him grinding it into pretty much dust. He has bits of saliva turning white and foaming around his move on the stirrup.
You said I get -5?
-5.
Oh, then it's a 4.
A 4. All right, and you're focused on him waiting for that to happen.
-5. I was like -1.
Dr. Wolfe, I need you to make for me a vitality roll. You're just at your standard -2.
I don't see shit.
I'm about to see a dead Mei Ling if he interferes.
Let me do my math here. That's 20.
Okay.
Nice.
And if
Alright.
it wasn't a throat trank, unless something's changed, wouldn't have worked
Okay.
anyway.
So you'll see Mei Ling talking with Marud and Cal, and then there's a little bit of nodding. Screaming has not stopped, and all three of them walk back to the tent. All right, go ahead and give me another vitality roll at -1 from what you've been at, so would that be -3?
Yep.
Dr. Wright, go ahead and give me a...
Can I get one more?
I'm going to say a medicine roll at this point. He is thrashing.
That is...
Will this fall
That
under
is-
Peerless Surgeon by chance?
No, it would not.
That is
Or not
12.
Peerless Surgeon, I'm just trying to notice how he is, or am I trying
You're
to help him?
noticing something, but it's medical over wits perception.
I'll use one of these unless anybody has a...
Go for it.
Make a medical check.
No, you would not. There's no chance for you.
Okay.
So that's gonna be 18.
No medicine
Okay.
for you.
So with an 18, you are going to notice that Dr. Wolfe is no longer thrashing completely body wide. The right hand side is starting to flop as opposed to thrash. It appears that there is no muscle movement on that side. So we got I'm sorry again, what for you?
12 on this.
A 12. All right, go ahead and give me another vitality roll. You're now at the next step up. So is that -4?
-4 now.
Okay.
That is 12 again.
Another 12. So you'll notice that the right arm is absolutely flopping at this point. Now keep in mind that he is on a blanket that's been laid over the base. So there is not buckets of blood. Think he's been painted in blood and now that paint is being splattered around. So the two of you are getting drips and drops on you. He continues to thrash, but again, and Ayden, you're going to notice there is something different about his thrashing, but you're going to notice that the right arm is completely useless at this point, and you're now noticing that his left arm is starting to flop more than have control.
Do it, Wolf. You don't have much time. Do it, evolve.
Okay, go ahead and give me another vitality roll. You are now at, were we at -4 or 5?
-4 previously.
So we're now -5.
That is 11.
Okay, so 11. So with an 11, he continues to thrash for a little bit more. He screams, spitting out the stirrup, and he has ground through a large portion of it. Spit comes out with it, and he drops onto his back. His back arches for one more time, and then he drops, unmoving.
I stand up and then walk towards him as closely as I can.
Well, you're pretty close already.
So-
You can literally lean forward on your knees.
Say, Wolf, get up. Get up.
Give me a medicine roll.
Succeeded at this. Get up. Medicine is gonna be an 18.
So with an 18, you do see that he is still breathing. It is very, very shallow, but it is regular. Let me step away from you guys for a moment. So Raya, you come on Ray. You can see him clearly. As you get closer to him, what do, if anything?
I ride the camel up next to him and go, so where are we going?
And Ray, she'll just, never frightened. Just a little bit of a, oh, there's Raya, or however you want to react to that.
Anywhere but here? Possibly back to Cairo?
You know, I can't believe I'm actually saying this because I was ready to put him down. I thought he was going to animate, but I think I saw a miracle tonight. I didn't know I believed in miracles until I saw what I saw. He shouldn't be alive. And last I checked, he hadn't animated yet. He was... well, he wasn't human to begin with, but he was close to himself. Burned close to himself. But what he is can heal from that.
Do you know what my job here is, Raya?
What is your job here?
Ayden hired me to protect a group of travelers from London. Basic job. We've done all sorts of different tomb robbing and architectural nonsense. Basic escort job should have been easy. Do you know what the people I'm trying to protect did tonight?
Oh yes. Oh yes, I know.
They literally set one of their damn friends on fire while he was still alive. And that was after they buried him alive in the desert.
So, in the desert, we didn't necessarily bury him alive.
You're supposed to kill him.
Ayden did a ritual.
Of course he did. Ayden always does a ritual.
And he was partially buried in sand. And the Shadem started coming out of the sand, and it buried him the rest of the way. But that's a minor technicality, and I understand what you're saying. Our group is unorthodox at best.
You guys really need to stop sugarcoating those words. The word is insane, okay? I'm done with insane. I dealt with insane. I was trying to get away from insane. I traveled all the way to damn Cairo to get away from insane. And you know what? I'm so damn tired of things creeping back.
You want to go back to London, don't you? Well, this group, unfortunately, is going to be your quickest way.
Quickest? Yeah. Probably damn well not the safest.
Oh, no, it won't be. You'd be safer walking there. But if you want to get back, then come back with me. We'll finish the mission. We'll find whatever it is we're going to find. I don't even know if it's even there. I have my doubts. But then we'll go back to Cairo, and you can all leave on the airship together and go back to London. And then you never have to see any of these people ever again.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Fine. I suppose I have never left a job unfinished. Let's just get back to it.
You know, they can't survive without you.
Well, if you're sticking around, I highly doubt that, actually.
Well,
you
they
and
can't
Frankie seem to have it pretty much handled.
They can't survive without Frankie and I either. But their chances of survival with the three of us are a lot better than without us, or without one of us. The chances of getting everyone back to Cairo safely and on that airship back to London are a lot better with the three of us.
I think you think that I'm a lot nicer person than I actually am.
I don't think that. I think you have a good heart. That doesn't necessarily mean nice. I think you're moral. That doesn't necessarily mean nice. But I think you're loyal. And I think you're loyal to Ayden. And I think you're loyal to a job.
Leave it to a woman to set you straight. Alright, let's go back.
Well, that's what I do. And I start riding back.
All right, so the two of you turn around and ride back. We're not riding at any speed. We're just cruising back. All right. So, in the tent, Dr. Rudd.
So I see that he's breathing steadily. So
He is
he's
breathing
still
steadily.
Upon seeing that, Ayden, you're still in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll shout for Frankie. So I'll just shout out, Frankie!
Frankie, you'll hear that.
Frankie, come here, my boy!
Yeah, I'll
Ayden, you're going to notice that he's shivering a bit. And when you turn back, you'll notice that he's shivering a touch as well. And you would expect this now.
I know it's gonna hurt, but I'm gonna put like a blanket gently over him.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And Frankie, when you come in, Frankie, my boy, I need you to help me. Wolfe is alive, and I am afraid that someone is going to try and impede his evolution. Will you help defend Wolfe and let him come back to us?
This is all very much over Frankie's head.
Uh,
What do you mean, impede?
and you're gonna see in my face specifically hope, which you probably don't see very often. And sorry, what did you just say real quick?
What do you mean by impede?
Don't let anybody disturb his evolution. Stay in here. He is in pain, and he will probably be in pain more. But pain is not going to kill him. He has survived this long, and he will come back. But if somebody tries to stop that, if they try to help them, if they think they're helping him, they may be stopping what's going on.
I'll look down little lobster wolf.
Well, actually, he's covered. But his face and what little of his neck looks horrible. He is now just barely teeth chattering.
Frankie, I don't usually ask for things like this in this manner. Today I am asking, will you help me?
I will defend Wolf.
Ayden, I can't say whether it was the magics, science, something else. I don't know what happened, but something did. Good job.
Thank you.
Wolf, the rest is yours.
And so the three of you will remain in the tent?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Wright, you're going to remain as well?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to stop there. Okay.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening to another NCRP Productions podcast. To stay on top of everything we're doing, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and like us on Facebook, all at NCRP Productions. You can show your support and help us continue to produce content by joining our Patreon. We offer additional podcasts like our B-sides and have GM materials, maps, and other fun things you can discover over time. You can find our podcasts on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google, and many other fine podcast sites. Just look for us at NCRP Productions. We value your thoughts, so please don't hesitate to leave us feedback or comments. And if you would like to contact us directly, you can email us at ncrpproductions@gmail.com.